And if I could ask parents to please take their seats. to turn off their phones. And we are live streaming this, so you'll be able to watch it afterwards as many times as you like. Once we get the last of the students sitting, we'll bring in the grads. If everybody could please stand and join me in welcoming the faculty and grad class of 2022.
Please remain standing. We acknowledge and thank the Coast Salish people on whose traditional territory Brentwood College School resides. We express our gratitude to the Malahat and Cowichan nations. We value the opportunity to learn, live, and share educational experiences on this traditional territory. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. seated. What an amazing sight it is. After a long COVID-impacted 2.5 years, we welcome you back to, for the first time since 2019, the Big Top here on Campbell Common. 2 years ago, we pre-recorded this event and sent the link to the school so they could watch it from their homes in various places around the world. Last year, house groupings were dotted around the campus to watch the live stream of a few of us that were sitting down there in the amphitheater. Parents and loved ones were relegated to visitor status and ordered to remain off campus. Today, we welcome back governors, old Brentonians, parents and family members, current and past staff, and most importantly, the students of Brentwood College School. This gathering of nearly 1,500 people is another marker of our transition out of this pandemic, fingers crossed, and return to this year-end tradition of culmination, celebration, and convocation. If I had a heart, this would be a profoundly emotional experience for me. But the bottom line is, we are back, and I couldn't be more excited, happy, and proud of this amazing community. Give yourselves a round of applause. Throughout this morning's ceremony, you will hear the theme of transition, transitioning from one grade to another. After, in some cases, 5 years, graduates that you see to my left and my right, transitioning from Brentwood to their next adventure. And seeing the end, as I said earlier, fingers crossed, transitioning out of this COVID fog and back to a more normal human experience. In all of these cases, these moments are filled with well wishes and tears. Like our motto states, Di Mano in Mano. These are moments when torches are passed to the next generation who are called upon to proudly hold high our nearly 100-year history of cognition, connection, and community. So as we come to the end of the year, it is not only with sadness that we are farewelling our students, but our tear ducts are also full because we must acknowledge the departure of some of our staff members as well. So let me do that now. During these COVID-impacted years, we are so grateful to our boarding faculty assistants, or BFAs, for their positive energy, unquenchable work ethic, and fun-loving spirit. While most will remain with us, we thank Marisol Van Fleet, who joined us in January, Danielle Millar, Maddie Anderson for their contribution to our community. Early in the year, we bid farewell to a number of non-teaching staff, including our sous chef of 12 years, David Sheffield, manager of alumni relations, Amy Weinberg, and director of advancement, Chris Feister. As we wind down this school year, I'd like to acknowledge a few more. Our payroll and benefit manager, Kate Pauschak, is, over the summer, moving to Alberta. I'm not sure why he moved to Alberta. And I'm from Alberta. And we thank her for her professionalism and no-nonsense approach, and for ensuring, frankly, that all of the staff got paid on time. Tracy Arden has been our manager of annual giving campaign, and that was appropriately rebranded recently to the Student Impact Fund. She is retiring from Brentwood to pursue her lifelong dream of operating a clothing store of high-end and gently used items. Mrs. Patel, you're not allowed to go to that store. Her kindness and enthusiasm will be missed. Connie Worth, our Human Resources Administrator, departs for an opportunity at the Cowichan Valley Regional District. And we are so grateful to her for helping us move forward our strategic plan of making Brentwood an even better place to work. She's also a mom of an old Brentonian, Chase, from the grad class of 2021. We will miss the kind and sensitive care she had with each of our employees. In only 9 years, Brent Lee has become a legendary figure on this campus. Always looking to contribute, his influence went well outside his day job as Director of IT. He was an advisor, duty person, educational technologist, midterm trip coordinator, leadership team member, and so much more. His willingness to be fully involved in all things Brentwood will be missed. Some faculty have already transitioned to their next adventures that include Larissa Biesenthal, our head of rowing, Sydney Marchment, ceramics teacher, Rachel Steele McInnes, English teacher, and debate coach, and Fang Sun, our Mandarin teacher. Today, we also bid farewell to Danielle Hampton, physics and robotics teacher, and Christina Shook, social studies and public speaking teacher, after 2 and 3 years of service, respectively, and we wish them well. We appreciate Neil Bryant's 11-year contribution to the chemistry, law, and politics, philosophy, and economics classes, and especially for his dedication to debate. He helped build the debate program into the powerhouse program that it is today. He has nurtured students at all levels, from beginners to national champions. Next year, he will be focusing his interest full-time on debate and taking up a position in Vancouver. We thank him for the passion he's brought to all of his programs. For 16 years, Josie Oshesky, or Miss O as she's known by her students, has worked as an assistant house parent, outdoor pursuits instructor, physics teacher, calendar coordinator, and leadership team member. Her talent for teaching is exceptional. And while I'm not really supposed to say this, but as the director of Hanging Out, I get to visit classes throughout the school, and her physics class is one of my favorites to visit. She fulfills her lifelong goal of teaching at the post-secondary level and begins her new journey at Vancouver University at the end of June. We are grateful for her that her planned 1 year at Brentwood turned into 16 impactful ones that have helped make us all better. Dowie Griffiths has been the head of IT, rugby and track and field coach, environmental sustainability meister, and teacher of computer studies and Metamorphosis 9. After 25 years, he retires with an incredible run of service to our community. He and Bonnie are the proud parents of old Brentonians, Megan, Bryn, and Sean, who's actually here today. We will miss his just get it done mindset and his passion for connecting Brentwood with the local Cowichan Valley community. And I want to assure you, Dowie, that this lesson will never be lost on us. And we are proud to be part of this community and your family. Please congratulate Mr. Dowie Griffith. The legendary Eileen Mays retires after 29 years of service, including 27 years as Alex House parent. As you can imagine, managing, parenting, and raising, according to her math at least, 1,300 teenage girls can at times be overwhelming. It's a bit of an understatement. Eileen, however, mastered this art form with her balanced approach of, on one hand, kindness and compassion, and on the other, a no-nonsense set of high standards. Hush, child, is all she needs to say. She lives quite close to campus, and I do hope that she will visit the school often. Please join me in acknowledging the elegance, grace, and class that is Eileen Mays. finally, we honor the lifetime of service by Mr. David McCarthy. Since 1987, so for 35 years, David has been a stalwart in the science classroom, rugby and soccer pitches, and even had a brief stint as a rowing coach on the waters out there in Mill Bay. More recently, he was the Director of Academics and Director of Learning, along with the beat sponsor. Perhaps his most significant contribution came in Ellis House, where literally generations of boys navigated their way through teenage angst to find themselves. Today in Ellis House, there are sons of his Ellis House boys that now are living in the same hallways he'd roamed for 17 years. He and his wife Lisa are proud Brentwood parents of alum Laura and Sean. Dave, you will forever be missed and always be remembered for your work ethic, quick wit, and leadership in helping curate a kinder and more inclusive and more forward-thinking Brentwood College School. Mr. David McCarthy. And finally, and I really mean finally now, and of course she's not here, she's watching on live stream, I would be remiss not to take this moment to publicly acknowledge Carrie DeLodge, the Executive Assistant to the Head of School's office for 20 years. This role is like no other. With a sympathetic ear and a gentle heart, Carrie must simultaneously manage a nervous student, upset parent, anxious staff member, and over-exuberant Brentonian. Her work literally touches every part of this campus, past, present, and future. She must do all of this and manage me. And I'm sure Head of School Andrea Pennells was much easier to support. You see, I'm a bit more of a free spirit and wanderer, and oftentimes Carrie, to her frustration, will be looking for me around campus, and I've left my phone on my office desk, but she can't find me. Yet somehow she put up with me for the past 10 years, and without her, I will, at least for a while, be lost at sea. Carrie, along with her husband Abby, are the proud parents of two old Brentonians, Cam and Matthew. And Carrie, I know you're watching from your office there. Well, I'm still upset with you and Abby for retiring. On behalf of all of us here, the Brentwood family and the Patel family, a profound and heartfelt thank you, Mrs. Carrie DeLodge. We now move to the second part of our closing ceremonies. Mrs. Karen Peary is an old Brentonian from the class of 1981, and he has been a governor at our school for over 20 years. Before either of her sons, Jack, who's a graduate of 2020, I think is here today, and Will, who graduates today, were actually alive. Like her fellow governors, she prefers to let the school enjoy the spotlight and provide leadership from the back. Her steady hand, deep understanding of our past, passion for our present, and keen focus on our future have successfully guided us through the COVID-19 pandemic. And we are all grateful to her and the rest of our governors. To bring greetings from the Board of Governors, please welcome to the podium the Chair of our Board, Mrs. Karen Peary.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Unlike Mr. Patel, I do have a heart, and this is somewhat emotional for me. Welcome, parents and families, faculty, staff, and students, and in particular, the class of 2022. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to be here today to bring greetings from the Board of Governors of Brentwood College School. And what an amazing day it's turning out to be. This year, I'm wearing 3 hats in bringing these remarks. I am here as the chair of the board, I am an alumna, and as a parent. As a graduate of this school, I still have very clear memories of this day back in June 1981, and the strange mix of emotions that I know the grade 12s are going through right now. This is a day filled with excitement, relief, apprehension, sadness, and pride, as these young people move on from high school to begin the next chapter of their lives. With my parent hat on, I want to express to the graduates how immensely proud your families are of what you have achieved in your time at Brentwood. We know you are ready for this next giant step, whether it's at college or university, going into the workforce, taking time to travel, or whatever your plans are after Brentwood. We have watched you grow, stretch outside your comfort zone, and hone the skills to be citizens of the world. We can't wait to see what life brings you, and we are very, very proud. My message to the graduates on behalf of the Board of Governors is to stay connected to this amazing place. You are now members of the greater Brentwood community. The Brentwood journey does not end here. Life will get busy, you may move far away, but don't leave your Brentwood family behind. Make an effort to stay in touch with friends, classmates, house parents, teachers, attend your reunions, come to the regatta, and when you're ready, come back as a volunteer for the career fair or in whatever capacity you wish. Maybe 40 years from now, you too will be standing here bringing greetings from the Board of Governors of Brentwood College School. You will forever be part of the fabric of this place, and the support of the Brentwood community is there for you for life. Congratulations to all of the students, the faculty, the staff, for an amazing year. And congratulations, class of 2022, you did it.
Thank you, Ms. Spear, and the rest of our governors for their unwavering support of our school. I now invite this year's grad president, Phil Bacandipe, to make a special presentation. Phil. I just want you to know this thing.
Good morning. At the beginning of the year, the grad class of 2022 set a goal to establish an endowed bursary fund in our name, which would provide financial assistance to a student each year. Not only have we as a class worked towards achieving this goal, but many parents have also provided support through the annual giving donations. So I'd first like to say thanks for everyone who helped support our initiatives. I'm proud to say that because of our efforts and our grad class, we were able to raise $15,000, and with the help of parent donations, we have collectively raised $108,767 to establish the class of 2022 bursary. This all means that as of September 2022, every year, a student in the school will be able to receive financial assistance from the Class of 2022 Fund. This is our legacy at Brentwood and our link to future Brentonians, the Emmanuel. So, on behalf of the Class of 2022, I'd like to present our check to Mr. McPherson. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Phil, and the grad class of 2022, parents, and anyone else contributed to that, because that gift will echo through time. I want to acknowledge one person that is missing, actually, from today. Mr. Sullivan, last week during the staff-student basketball game, was trying to relive his youth, and I don't know if Mr. Sullivan actually played university basketball. It's pretty good. Not as good as me, but he's pretty good. So he thought he was younger, and he snapped and ruptured his Achilles tendon last week. So don't worry, he didn't take a day off work. And this week he was told at a specialist that he was potentially being called for surgery in the next 2 weeks, but it would never happen, kind of, to interrupt this ceremony. Yesterday he had surgery. And he's watching on the live stream too, so I think, again, I'll dock his paycheck because of that. But to you, Mr. Sullivan, we're all thinking about you and a speedy recovery too, so let's give him a round of applause. You'll see in the program that you have a highlight summary of the 2021-22 school year. And I encourage you to digest the accomplishments of our students and staff. It has truly been a historical year. That, however, is not what I wish to share with you today. Instead, in the cone, or maybe the marquee of silence here, I'm going to reveal a secret about me. So it's important that we keep it to ourselves. It's a secret that only Mrs. Patel and our 2 daughters know about me. Each evening, right after dinner, I do something quite important. I'd even say profound. That is an essential part of my wellness strategy. After dinner is my special time to be alone and to meditate. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes on other occasions it's a full hour. But the amount of time depends largely on the consumed meal and the aftermath that is blotted around the kitchen. So here is my confession. I love cleaning the kitchen. It's my duty, chore, and let's call it a house job, and I love it. And with a slight flex, I'm pretty good, actually, at it too. A humble brag, or as maybe I'll put it in language the students would know, on the proficiency scale, I'm extending high. There are few things in this world more satisfying than giving one last wipe to the counter with a J-cloth, or pushing that start button on the dishwasher on a fully loaded dishwasher. We all know what it feels like. It's amazing. Now, that's part of this kind of piece, but during that nightly ritual, I tend to put on some music or turn the TV to watch the news or catch the NHL playoffs, or I guess Mr. Spartle wanted me to mention the NBA playoffs, I guess, that are now over. Yeah, I worked it in, Mr. Spartle, I worked it in. Or a mindless sitcom, something like that. But on one night a few weeks back, I came across a documentary on, of all things, Sesame Street. Now, I remember Sesame Street vividly from the 70s. I'm not sure it's still around today. Is it still around today? Yeah. Is it? Okay. So this documentary, when I caught it, the narrators were sort of unpacking characters on Sesame Street. Big Bird, the Cookie Monster, Grover, etc. And 2 things caught my attention when I was watching this documentary. First was the intentionality the creators had on Sesame Street to embed a character called Oscar the Grouch. And he became a fixture on Sesame Street. Oscar, if you don't know, was a Muppet that lived in a garbage can. who railed against anything positive, loved to stir the pot, and was to be carefully dealt with by children and adults alike. Sounds like someone I know. They did this apparently so that children would learn that not everyone on their street was going to agree with them, be like them, or even be nice to them. Their point was to not sanitize or snowplow a smooth and clear pathway for children that's free of adversity and challenge, and instead encourage them to learn the skills to deal with the Oscars of the world, but not just deal with them, to actually aim a little bit higher. Children, they thought, should learn to listen, understand, and include the Oscar the Grouches of the world into the conversation. To learn how to create a larger tent of inclusion and a much wider circle of connection. The lesson was that we need to not just tolerate the Grouches in our lives, we need to embrace them. As I continued to wash deeply soiled pots and pans, the second epiphany was revealed to me. The stunning parallels that I could see through the matrix between Sesame Street and Brentwood. Both are places where young and old come together to embrace a place for learning. Think about it. Mr. Cowie has been here for nearly 45 years and has taught 2 or even 3 generations of Brentonians from the same family. He shares the same space as students who were born in 2008. From sport dinner house to Sunday flag football, both places embrace the fun and laughter that happens on this campus and carefully fosters a place of joyful flame. When we see and hear performances at Java Hut, or the concerts for a winter's or summer's eve, or music festivals, one quickly sees that Brentwood, like Sesame Street, is a place for music. When I watched Sesame Street in the 70s, there were characters from every color of the rainbow, with a wide array of backgrounds and beliefs. And just like Brentwood, all are welcome, embraced, and included. These are places and spaces for everyone. Sesame Street taught us to not shy away from high expectations and high standards. In fact, like Brentwood, people are honored for their merit, actions, and behavior rather than just their reputation. Understanding your role as part of the community was a key lesson taught by Sesame Street. And whether it's house jobs, properly busing your trays in Crooks Hall, picking up litter, or welcoming guests, we all understand our role as part of something bigger than ourselves. The Muppets taught us the importance of being selfless. And finally, Sesame Street's constant focus on creating an ever-growing web of connections has parallels to our school. No matter the activity, it was the character-to-character interaction that was foundational on Sesame Street, where children were taught to deeply understand each other and shrink the superficial gaps that some use to divide us. Every activity on Sesame Street was intended to create connections. Our tripartite boarding program is designed to cause interactions between and amongst humans. At the core of every program are ambitious goals to achieve, improve, and learn. The purpose, however, like Sesame Street, is to create deep, meaningful, and lifelong relationships that easily transcend distance and time. Like Sesame Street, the connections to the activity, moment, or feeling are intergenerational. The grade 8s sitting back there and I are connected by Shrek Jr., afternoon sports, and the year-end barbecue. Just like the graduating class of 2022 will always be connected to the grad class of 1982 and 1932. So thank you, Brentwood, for keeping my secret first, and for allowing me to relive my childhood during this historic 2021-22 school year. I am most grateful for your belief in our amazing school. Together, we made it, and made it an incredibly fulfilling year, and somewhere out there, even Oscar the Grouch is probably smiling. Thank you very much. Jacob, it's your turn. Come up here for a second. I'm just going to introduce you. It is my privilege to introduce this year's head prefect, Jacob Hart. He is a proud Salt Spring Islander who was raised by a family full of love and laughter. Jacob is an engaged tripartite student, where he starred on the soccer and rugby pitches, shined in the spotlight of musical theater and senior play, and followed his passion for music creation that will continue in the fall in Toronto. While these accomplishments speak to the talent of this impressive head prefect, it is the character of his positivity that is the most important thing. He's kind, he's humble-ish. And that elevates him to legendary status for me. When asked last summer what goals he had for this year, he told me through Zoom, "My job, Mr. Patel, is to bring the energy. And you, Mr. Patel, can do everything else." Well, I'm happy to report that not only did Jacob bring the vibe to the school, he also did everything else. So please welcome to the podium the 2021-22 head prefect, Jacob Hart.
Now I know why you're all here, and I know why you're all dying to find out. Did I take the job? Actually, I'm realizing that there may be a few of you who don't know what I'm talking about. All right, a bit of context. For those of you who don't know, 2 weeks ago, Mr. Patel approached me and offered me the role of head of school. Now, naturally, my initial reaction was, "Mr. Patel, are you telling me you're stepping down from your position as head?" To which he replied, "Jacob, you know, I really wasn't planning on it. I actually quite like it, and I was planning on hanging around for a while. That is, however, until I met you. You are the living embodiment of the word leader. You are responsible. You are strong. You are capable. You are incredibly good looking, but most of all, above all else, you are humble." And so, for the last couple of weeks, I've been pondering this offer, and after much thought and consideration, I've come to a final decision. Although the role would be fun, and the house and the point would be lovely, I will unfortunately not be taking on the role of head of school at Brentwood College. Now, this is not saying I won't change my mind in the future. I just think that right now I need to spend some time exploring the world and finding myself. Mr. Patel, I'm honored by your offer, but I think you're doing a pretty good job, so you should stick around for a little longer. Until I'm ready. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacob, and I've had the honor of being this year's head prefect. And let me just say, what a year it has been. I genuinely cannot express how lucky I feel to have been in this role this year. You see, being selected as head prefect any year is a huge honor, but this year was special for a few reasons. I'm not sure if any of you know this, but the last couple of years here at Brentwood, like Mr. Patel said, were a bit different. I won't go into detail, but there was a sickness going around that sort of had effect on a few of our lives and resulted in Brentwood having to make a few minor adjustments in its daily routine. So in the spring of 2020, Brentwood moved from in-person classes to distance learning over Zoom. Now this had a huge impact on the entire Brentwood community, students and staff alike. But there's one student in particular that I would like to speak about for a moment. Her name is Dee Dee. And Dee Dee was our head prefect for the 2019-2020 school year. When Brentwood transitioned to online learning, everything was from a distance. Academics, arts, athletics, and even our weekly assemblies. So, Dee Dee had to go from speaking to our entire school in the beautiful live Tilly Theater to speaking from her room into a camera, which would then be streamed live for the rest of school to watch all over the world. Now, as time went on, things got a little bit better, and in September of 2020, Brentwood returned to its in-person learning. But it was not the same. We had cohorts, we had masks, we had Camp Brentwood. Although we were back in person, we were not able to gather in large groups. This meant no social gatherings, no sports tournaments, and no live assemblies. Which brings me to my next person I'd like to speak about for a moment. His name is Jack, and Jack was our head prefect for the 2020-2021 school year. Unlike Dee Dee, Jack got to both start and end his year in person on the Brentwood campus. However, it was not the same. When Jack would stand at the podium to speak at every assembly, he was not speaking to a crowd. He was speaking to a singular camera at the back of the room, which would then film him and stream him out to the campus where students were spread out into small groups. Jack and Dee Dee were both faced with these challenges, but they both stepped up, they both adapted, and they both overcame. This year, not only did I get to be in person on campus, but I got to speak every single week to our entire student body in the Tilly Theater, live. So Jack and Dee Dee, I believe you may be out here today somewhere. Wherever you are, I would like to thank you for everything you did and everything you went through. You were both inspiring figures in my life, and I don't think I'd be standing up here today if it wasn't for the work that you put in. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Standing up here today in front of all of you, I feel a great amount of privilege. But with that privilege comes pressure. Pressure to keep you engaged, to make you laugh, or maybe cry, to make you think about things, deep things, or maybe not so deep things, but just to think about things in general, you know? Pressure to somehow encapsulate my entire 4 years of Brentwood into this one single speech. And finally, I feel pressure to drop some serious at prefect knowledge. Now, I know on the outside, I seem like the teenage embodiment of some ancient weathered wisdom keeper who was organized, always prepared, and remarkably knowledgeable. But the truth is, I'm not. It's maybe hard to believe, but in all honesty, I'm not actually that organized. I'm rarely well prepared, and I'm only 18, so the little knowledge I carry with me is far from what I would consider wisdom. That being said, I'm still standing up here and I have all your attention, so I thought I'd share a few things, 'cause why not? Some knowledge and some advice for those of you who feel you need it. So my first piece of advice: throughout your life, always, and I mean always, be yourself. Now I'm from a little hippie inhabited island called Salisbury, and my childhood was everything but conventional. Most of my time was spent outdoors, running around, rarely clothed. And the little clothing I did wear was usually hand-felted by my mom. And when I say little clothing, I literally mean my go-to outfit was a hat. And nothing else. I was a wild child. As the years went by, I mellowed out a bit, started wearing more clothes, and slowly veered away from my crazy forest child ways. However, I never let the wild-natured part of me die. When I came to Brentwood in September 2019, there was definitely pressure to change. People looked different here. They spoke different. They acted different. They wore shoes. I actually remember quite clearly the second week of my grade 9 year. I was walking across campus barefooted. I'd only been here for 2 weeks, so I didn't think anyone knew me or where I was from. But I was walking barefooted across campus, and a staff member yelled very loudly from across the field, "You're not on Salisbury anymore, get some shoes on." Stuck with me. So as the years went by, I obviously made some adjustments to my lifestyle and adapted in areas that were necessary. However, I can proudly say that to this day, I have always remained my true self, to my friends, to my peers, and to my teachers. And if being myself somehow got the prestigious Brentwood College School to choose me, a long-haired, barefooted, wild-natured, Salisbury Island-raised boy to be the chosen representative of the student body, I would ask all of you to trust me and to be yourselves. Remain true to your roots and be proud of where you come from, because life's too short to try and fit in. semi-knowledgeable piece of advice. Take risks. When I was in grade 10, I kissed a boy on the lips. On stage, in front of the entire student body. Now, a bit of context. The Brentwood Musical Company was putting on Monty Python's Spamalot, in which I played a character that had to kiss another character that just also happened to be a male. Anyways, being in grade 10, some people knew me, but many did not. And so to a large number of students, I was known purely as the grade 10 ginger kid who kissed Roadhouse Captain Callum Courier on the lips. My point is that as humans, we will usually tend to try and find the easier or safer option when faced with decisions in life. This is because generally our happy place is inside our comfort zone. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's called our comfort zone for a reason. We feel safe and we feel secure. However, my advice would be this. Hang out in your comfort zone, but don't live in it. Take chances and push yourself to try something new and uncomfortable. Talk to that scary person, jump off the high diving board, or try public speaking. Because although there's a chance you could fail horribly, one day you'll be laying in bed looking back on your life and simply thinking, why not? Before I share my third and final piece of averagely knowledgeable information, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the year we've had. Sort of a highlight reel, if you will. So first off, students, show of hands, how many of you were new to Brentwood this year? So if you can see, that's a lot of students. This year, Brentwood actually set a record and had 40% of the student body being new students. That's big. Now, show of hands, who remembers fun and games? One of the many events we were lucky enough to have back up and running again this year, where students competed in various challenges such as Simon Says, Rock, Paper, Scissors, and the most violent and dangerous game of musical chairs you've ever seen in your life. We had Eco Challenge, where houses swam, ran, built, and paddled their way across the finish line. We had Real Snowball back this year, where we dressed up, had a feast, and got to watch a live magician. We had the beautiful Deer Lodge, where many students went to get away from the stress of Brentwood and enjoy a relaxing, all-inclusive experience of being locked away in a hotel room for a week. We had TEDx, where we learned about dancing robots, lucid dreams, and failure, as well as a wicked halftime performance by some of Brentwood's finest. We had Airband, where we danced, lip-synced, and witnessed Cayenne perform the nastiest robot dance in human history. And finally, we had the senior play production of Puffs, where we all thought Mr. Interlandi was going to be fired as a result of our valedictorian loosening his filter for one of the performances. Although these events still feel so recent, they now live in our memories, and for some will be the core ones that we think back on when we reflect on our high school experience. Memories of excitement, of new experiences, of challenges, of heartbreak, of growth, and finally, memories of those who stuck with us on this journey. Which brings me to my third and final piece of knowledge/advice. Now, Mr. Patel often says people are the worst, which can be seen as humorous. But in these recent crazy and somewhat bizarre times that the world has been going through, it's honestly not too far off. People can most definitely be the worst. However, people can also be the best. In a world so full of fear, uncertainty, and even hate, there is also kindness, compassion, and even love. And so my advice to you all is to live your life with kindness. Don't expect the worst from people. Treat every new person you meet as an opportunity. Worst comes to worst, they turn out to not be so great and you go on living your life. But you have to take that chance. Because when you do find those people who lift you up, and you will, whether that's a friend who comforts you, someone who motivates you, or if you're lucky enough, a significant other who you get to share this journey of life with, it is truly the most beautiful thing in the world. Live your life with kindness, take time to appreciate those who lift you up, and approach every new interaction as a possible opportunity. All right, my final message to the student body. Grade 8s, you've had a little taste of Brentwood, but get ready. Because next year, you will officially begin your high school careers. Have fun, make friends, and seize every opportunity this place throws your way. Because trust me when I say, the next 4 years will go by like nothing. Grade 9s, next year you will move up in the world. You will no longer be at the bottom. You will have power. Not a lot. A very, very small amount. But power nonetheless. I encourage you to take full advantage of your last year of being a junior. Grade 10 is a time to try new things, explore, and have fun while you still can. Because soon enough, grade 11 will roll around and things will get scary. Grade 10s, things are about to get scary. Classes are going to matter next year. Not that they didn't this year, they're just going to matter a bit more. Grade 11 is considered by many the most important academic year of your high school career. So stay focused and work hard, but don't forget to have some fun on the side because you're only in high school once, so live it up. Grade 11s, you are about to embark on the scariest, most exciting, and best year of your high school life. I know you hear this a lot, but trust me when I say grade 12 goes by in the blink of an eye. So cherish every moment. Have fun, be smart, and take advantage of the time that you have with those you hold close in your grade. Because soon enough, the time will come where you'll have to say your goodbyes. And trust me when I say, it is far from easy. And finally, my fellow grade 12s, we made it, the final day. In just a few hours, we will no longer be high school students. We will be real people, with real freedom and real responsibility. I think it's safe to say this is probably the scariest moment of our lives, but it is also the most exciting. For some of us, school is now a thing of the past. For others, we're about to dive into 4 more harder years of school. But no matter what direction you're choosing to follow, I wish you all the best in your adventures, and I look forward to our class anniversaries, where we can all share beverages that won't get us expelled. Brentwood, thank you for trusting me with this position this year and making my grade 12 year easily the best one of my life. To all my teachers and coaches, thank you for being a part of my journey. You have helped shape me the person I am today, and for that, I'm grateful. Mr. Rodriguez, apart from being the most attractive man I've ever met, you are also one of the kindest, one of the most genuine, and one of the most caring people I know. You are a true friend, and for that, I thank you. Newf and Walensky, my second parents for 4 years now, I can confidently say that I will never meet anyone like either of you. You are 2 of the most caring, brilliant, hilarious, and unique people I have ever met. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
Mr. Patel, thank you for taking me under your wing, for helping me navigate this crazy, somewhat stressful year, and for being a mentor and a friend. I will miss you, and I'm grateful for everything you do. Sam, my best friend from day one, we've come a long way. From chaotic, immature, awkwardly lanky grade 9s to, well, honestly, nothing's really changed. But now we're head prefect and valedictorian, so I'd say we're good. Lisa Lloyd, your generosity is the reason I'm here today, and I've been here for 4 years now, thanks to you. I truly cannot thank you enough, so thank you. My siblings, Noah, Eli, and India, thank you for your constant support and for always lifting me up. Although at times we can seem like enemies, at the end of the day, it's all love. My beautiful parents, honestly, there are no words that would do justice to how much I appreciate everything you two do. Thank you for your constant love and support, and for being the solid grounding figures that I need so badly in my life. I literally owe everything to you. Hannah, thank you for being my rock, and for sharing your beauty, your wisdom, and your love. You have changed my life forever, and for that, I say thank you. And finally, I want to thank every single one of you who has been a part of my musical journey. Your feedback, your support, and your motivation have pushed me to pursue my passion next year, and for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you, Brentwood, for the best 4 years of my life. I will miss you all, and I'm grateful our paths got to cross on this crazy adventure we call life.
That's an allergy, so. Top pollen season right now. On to our academic and heads awards. From masked to unmasked classrooms, a shift from concept-based or to concept-based competency-driven teaching and learning, and yet another example of transition, this time physically from the Ross building to the newly renovated Woodward building. Our academic leaders, Ms. Mertland and Mr. Wardrop, successfully managed some massive changes this year. And we are appreciative and thankful for their patience and guidance, even though maybe sometimes we got a little bit frustrated. So to present the academic and heads awards, please welcome to the podium Ms. Mertland and Mr. Wardrop. Or Mr. Rodriguez. I know.
Mr. Wardrop will be coming up after me. Good morning. Last week we were able to acknowledge the accomplishments of many students during our internal award ceremony, and those names are printed in the back of the program. We discovered after the event that a few names were missed, so I'd like to mention those winners now. For service awards, Lucinda Gullison and Chloe Hawken earned a bronze pin. For senior athletic colors, Hazel Lynn and Isabella Thornton, and senior arts colors go to Julia Nguyen. With these additions, Hazel Ling and Isabella Thornton earned triple colors, and also missed were triple colors winners Julia Doler, Ariel Chiem, and Sasha Bird Lopez. I'd just like to congratulate those. Once final marks are entered, which is happening soon, we may have more academic colors to award. And we do those in September for those students who are returning, or we send the pins in a mail out in the summer to those who are not returning to Brentwood. For today's subject and heads awards, the students will be called up in groups to await their turn to be recognized for their achievement in academics, arts, and athletics. The names of all award winners will be made available in the final version of the program. We had to keep it a secret, and that will be sent out to families and students following the ceremony. The awards will be presented alphabetically by grade. And so for students, when your name is called, I just ask you to come to the side of the stage here and await your turn to come onto stage and be presented with your award. After receiving your award, you just go directly to the concrete area out by the Arts Building, and Mr. Fletcher will take your photo when the whole grade group is done. To recognize their contributions to Brentwood, we have asked our longest serving teachers who are completing their time at Brentwood to help us present. So we're going to begin with the grade 8 prizes. And before handing out those awards, I always like to take the time to have the grades stand. So we'll have our grade 8 stand, and we can congratulate them on a year of hard work. They just got back from a couple nights of camping and some long biking, so hopefully they're not stiff. Oh no, that would be just me, not them. So I will call a group to the side of the stage. I'm going to ask Mr. Bryant to come up to help present the awards with Mr. Patel, and thank Mr. Rodriguez for handing those to our presenters. I ask that you hold your applause until the group is done, so that we can move through the awards. So would the following students please make their way? Charlotte Atkins, Janisha Fay, Charlotte Feingold, Zane Fitke, Carrington Gillespie, Katie James, Rudolph Kruger, Kieran Porter, and Rowan Thompson. The grade 8 class overcame many challenges this year, beginning with which Charlotte was which, and then which Jackson was which, and then which Kieran was which. But once they had that sorted out, they got to work learning through a variety of experiences inside and outside the classroom. So our grade 8 subject prize winners are Charlotte Atkins, English 8, and Science 8.
We'll just ask you to hold applause till we're done with group, because we have a lot of students, as you can see, to call up. Denisha Faye, French 8. Charlotte Feingold, Social Studies 8. Zane 50, Arts 8. Carrington Gillespie, Arts 8. Katie James, Physical Education 8. Rudolph Kruger, Math 8. Kieran Porter, French Immersion 8. Rowan Thompson, Physical Education 8. Congratulations to our grade 8 winners. Mr. Griffiths to come to assist with the grade 9 class. And once again, before we begin, could the grade 9s please stand so we can recognize and acknowledge all their work.
Grade 8 winners. You obviously didn't listen. You're supposed to go get your picture taken outside the arts building. Good start so far.
We'll have it by grade 12. Would the following grade 9s please make their way to the side of the stage? Ella Bertelson, Miguel Britton, Amaya Diasis Chan, Julia Doler, Peter Dryden, Hamish Gullison, Ruby McDougall, Olivia Meneses-Plow, Leah Parham, Stella Pollock, Maria Sischikova, and Ella Wenhart. The grade 9s were able to begin their year with the famous or infamous Strathcona trip that was missed last year. It provides many stories at Lifers dinners when students reach grade 12. They survived design challenges, made the connection between math and art, and figured out how to make the way we live in the world more sustainable. Our grade 9 winners, not grade 8, grade 9 winners are Ella Bertelson, English 9, Immersion French 9. Miguel Britton, Beginners Mandarin. Amaya Diasis Chan, Spanish 11. Julia Doler, Metamorphosis 9, Heads Arts Award, Heads Academics Award. Peter Dryden, Heads Athletics Award. Hamish Gullison, Math 9. Ruby McDougall, Heads Academics Award, Heads Athletics Award. Olivia Meneses-Plow, Spanish 9. Lilia Parham, Heads Arts Award. Stella Pollock. Am I going too fast? Stella Pollock, French 9, Math 10, Metamorphosis 9, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award, Heads Athletics Award. This makes Stella a triple Heads Awards winner, which is an incredible accomplishment in any grade, and especially in grade 9. Maria Sischikova, Heads Arts Award. Pianter Tamrangawaswat, who can't be here today, but she wins the Mandarin 10, Metamorphosis 9, and Heads Academics Award. And Ella Wenhart, Heads Athletics Award. Subject Award winners and Heads Award winners, several students will see their names in the final program as runner-up to these awards. These students are Sophia Albanati, Megan Chang, and Isaac Coots. Thank you, Mr. Griffiths. Ms. Olszewski will help present the grade 10 awards. And again, could I ask the grade 10s to stand up, please, so we can recognize them. With the following grade 10 students, please make their way to the side of the stage. Amy Doan, Mimi Dryland, Jillian Duda, Sebastian Ellis Gray, Cleo Fernie, Mia Gramstad, Louise Hitzfleck, Kennedy Hoy, Serena Hudson, Lulu Pomerado, Phoebe Killam, April Liu, and Tatum Loki. I hope that the 2 days of Extend Days was a highlight for the grade 10s this year. It was 2 days of outdoor activities that challenged students to go outside their comfort zone and enjoy this beautiful area where they live and go to school. And it wasn't always easy. Our first group of grade 10s, Amy Doan, Beginner's Spanish and Heads Arts Award. Mimi Dryland, English 10 and Heads Arts Award. Jillian Duda, Heads Arts Award. Sebastian Ellis Gray, Coding JavaScript 11. Cleo Fernie, Heads Arts Award. Mia Gramstad, Science 10 and Heads Academics Award. Louise Hitzfleck, Heads Athletics Award. Kennedy Hoy, Spanish 10. Serena Hudson, Social Studies 10. Lulu Pomerado, Spanish 12. Phoebe Killam, Science 10. Science 10 and Heads Arts Award. April Liu, AP Microeconomics 12. And Tatum, who can't be here today, wins a Heads Athletics Award. That was our first group of grade 10s. And I would now ask the following grade 10s to make their way to the side of the stage. Caitlin Mint, Milan Pasquale, Claire Rimmer, Simrit Rao, Elliot Shepard, Haru Soji, Taylor Stewart, Charlie Svensson, Florence Therian, Amelia Von Oppen, Philip Wurtenberger, Edith Wong, and Jen Yang. We'll start with Caitlin Mint. She's here? Not here. Okay. Caitlin isn't here today, but she wins the Mandarin 12 Award. Milan Pasquale, Heads Athletics Award. Claire Rimmer, AP Seminar 11 and Heads Arts Award. Simrit Rao, French 10, Heads Academics Award and Heads Arts Award. Elliot Shepard, Coding Python 11 and Heads Academics Award. Haru Shoji, Beginner's Mandarin, Taylor Stewart, Design 11. Charlie Svensson, Science and Ethics 11. Florence Darian, French 12. Amelia Von Oppen, Heads Athletics Award. Philip Wartenberger, Introduction to Business 11. Edith Wong, Social Studies 10, Heads Academics Award. Zheng Yang, Heads Arts Award. As with our grade 9 students, grade 10 students named as a runner-up who were not on stage are Isha Cordy-Stevens, Nicholas Eckenstein, Estelle de Gaspé-Beaubien, Eric Guo, Samuel Gutierrez, Druby Cadaria, Emily Lee, Isis Lopez, Mirva Megavan, Sophie Scott, and Hinano Yajima, our grade 10 award winner. Turn it over to Mr. Wardrop.
Good morning. I get the pleasure of reading the names of winners for our senior school. And to help me with the grade 11s, would Mr. McCarthy please join? Mr. McCarthy is definitely one of my mentors at the school over the years I've been here. And I just wanted to give you a little taste of, this is a man who's taught 60 years at 25 years at Brentwood. And you would think, that he would just casually just slide away, but in his true fashion, Mr. McCarthy took on a very ambitious project this year. He led a group of senior students through some exciting research using a recently acquired NeuroCatch platform, connecting lots of things to your head, which was also developed by Brentwood alumnus Ryan Darcy. Our students have been embarking on cutting-edge research around brain-related injuries from contact sports. Not only does this offer a truly unique learning opportunity for our students, but also garnered the attention of some local media outlets like the Times Colonist newspaper and CTV News, so celebrity. All right, grade 11, your turn to stretch your legs, and we can acknowledge all the hard work that you did this year. Would the following students please make their way to the stage? Felicity Burrs, Ariel Chim, Ty Dahlstrom, Macy DeWalt Rose, Jack Bowler, Dylan Gauger, Ona Garagos Pages, Kaylee Hedquist Marshall, Alexander Kane, Arden Coe, Heather Lamb. Felicity Burrs, Calculus 12. Ariel Chim, Physics 11, Heads Arts Award. Ty Dahlstrom, Pre-Calculus 11. Maisie DeWalt Rose, Heads Arts Award. Jack Doler, Chemistry 11, Physics 11, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Dylan Gage, Heads Athletics Award. And Enkin Gandatar, I believe, has gone home already, but the Mandarin 11 winner. Ona Garagos Pages, Spanish 12. Kaylee Hedquist Marshall, I don't see. Heads Arts Award. Alexander Kane, Entrepreneurship 12. Arden Coe, Chemistry 11. Heather Lamb, Heads Arts Award. Our second group of grade 11s, please make your way to the stage. Hazel Ling, Thomas McDonald, Jensa Napier Ganley, Miranda Navarro Perez, David Ojidokun, Maxine Pollock, Antonia Rochen, Athena Romano, Sophia Saul, Isabella Thornton, Hope Tigalar, Emma Willman. Hazel Ling, AP Research 12, Life Sciences 11, Nicholas R.B. Prowse Prize for 20th Century World History 12. Thomas McDonald, Pre-Calculus 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award, and the Heads Athletics Award. Jensa Napier Ganley, Heads Athletic Award. Miranda Navarro Perez, Heads Athletics Award. David Ojidokun, Beginners French. Maxine Pollock, English 11, Harrison Company Scholarship for Law 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Athletics Award. Antonia Rochen, French 11. Athena Romano, Heads Arts Award. Sophia Saul, Heads Arts Award. Isabella Thornton, Social Justice 12. Hope Tigalar, Geology 12. And Emma Willman, French 11. And in your program, you'll see the names of the students grade 11 who are named as a runner-up, and they are Camille Ahmed, Madison Bell, Karina Gon, Lachlan Kapuscinski, Jenny Lee, Morgan McCrae, and Finn Sebastian. Thank you, Mr. McCarthy. We now invite the lovely Eileen Mays to the stage to help with the grade 12 awards. There's a monarch across the water who's done her thing for quite a long time, but that little ritual I do every time I walk into the Learning Commons and just makes it sitting there. I can't help myself. It feels like royalty, I don't know, so I bend the knee. Okay, grade 12s. You can stand for a while. Stretch your legs. All right, grade 12s, make your way to the stage, please. There's going to be 3 groups of 12s. They've been very busy this year. Following students in group 1, Peju Adelasoye, Nina Berry, Ronan Bishop, Gabriela Casals, Nicole Chan, Robin Cole, Evan Cowan, Piper Davidson, Anna Draper, Buchanan Fritz, Lindsay Goddard, Lucinda Gullison, Jacob Hart, Fabian Himmelstein. Teju Adelasoye, Heads Arts Award. Mia Berry, Contemporary Indigenous Studies 12. Ronan Bishop, Heads Arts Award. Gabriella Casals, Judith Mason Award for AP Studio Art 12. Nicole Chan, Heads Arts Award. Robin Cole, Heads Arts Award. Evan Cowan, Financial Accounting 12. Piper Davidson, AP Comparative Government and Politics 12, AP US History, Heads Academics Award. Anna Draper, Heads Arts Award. Buchanan Fritz, Heads Athletics Award. Lindsay Goddard, Arthur Privet Prize for English Studies 12, AP Psychology 12, and Heads Academics Award. Lucinda Gullison. Lucinda Gullison, Heads Academics Award. Jacob Hart, Heads Arts Award. Fabian Himmelstein, AP Macroeconomics 12, Physical Geography 12. The next group of grade 12s to make it to the stage, please. Trekker James, Lauren Kish, Mark Lafreniere, Amber Lees, Roland Legg, Jocelyn Leonard-Teach, Davey Long, Sebastian Magana, Lisa Maricusa, Cameron McNeil, Vladislav Mironov, Emily Nemo. Trekker James, Heads Athletics Award. Lauren Kish, Heads Arts Award. Mark Lafreniere, Heads Athletics Award. Amber Lees, AP World History 12, and the Ruth Bolt Prize for Literature Studies 12. Roland Legg, Politics, Philosophy, and Economics 12. Thought it was only 3 separate things. Jocelyn Leonard-Teach, Human Geography 12, and Heads Athletics Award. And Davey Long, Creative Writing 12. Sebastian Magana, Advanced Topics in Mathematics, Chemistry 12, Heads Academics Award. Lisa Maricusa, Heads Arts Award. Cameron McNeil, Political Studies 12. Vladislav Mironov, AP Computer Science Principles 12. Emily Nemo, Heads Academics Award. And our final group of grade 12s, please make your way to stage. Kamsi Anwama, Amy Pavlis, Luca Peever, Will Peary, Eamon Ryan, Kate Stevens, Solange Stewart-Hansen, Sky Sun, Kaden Tusaw, Julian Land, Hannah Waring, Calvin Watts, Esme Yanowitz. Kamsi Anwama, Heads Arts Award. Amy Pavlis, Foundations of Mathematics 12. Luca Peever, Comparative Cultures 12. Real Theory, Heads Academics Award. Eamon Ryan, Heads Arts Award. Kate Stevens, Heads Athletics Award. Solange Stewart Hansen, Heads Arts Award. Sky Sun, the Hugh Brackenbury Plate, AP Environmental Studies 12, and the Rami Award. Katie Tusaw, Heads Arts Award. Julian Wan, the Jerry Pennell's Prize for Anatomy and Physiology 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Hannah Waring, Heads Arts Award. Calvin Watts, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. And Esme Yanowitz, AP Art History 12, the Bruce Tate Award for Physics 12, Heads Academics Award, and Heads Arts Award. Thank you, Ms. Meigs. And the students that you will find in your, what do they call this thing? Booklet at the end of the booklet for runners-up are Sophie Carmichael, Justine Cox, Romana Joss, Kenshiro Kanaragaba, Sasha Bird Lopez, Yang Luo, Harbalneet Nanan, Oliver Nam, Jack Paul, and Miles Smith, all named as runners-up for the project. Ms. Mertland will now come back to the stage and begin our presentation of the major award.
Thank you, Mr. Wardrop. Just a reminder for students, if you received a trophy or a plate or a shield or something that has been engraved over many years, you can't take it home with you. So following the ceremony, please enjoy a bit of time to have photos taken with friends, with family, and then make sure to return them to the stage. So our major awards are really part of the tradition and the history of Brentwood College School. And when students receive them, we do encourage them to take a look at the names that have come before onto those awards. Also, their names will not yet be engraved on them. We get them done in the summertime, so the next year's recipients will be able to see them. So we'll start with our first grade 9 award. If you are a named winner, I ask you to please come directly to the stage to receive your award from Mr. Patel. The Hogan Memorial Shield is for a grade 9 student whose citizenship is unquestionable and whose leadership potential is couched within a positive personality. The winner is Peter Dryden. Peter is known around campus for his everlasting smile. It's visible in class, on the court, on the field, on the water. And as a stalwart in Privet House, although a day student, Mr. Neufeld suggested that perhaps he lived more like a boarder. It's not always the case that a grade 9 student has that kind of impact in a boarding house. It did, in fact, earn him a coveted privet tie. The H.J. J. Davis Trophy is awarded to a grade 9 student whose impressive academic effort is complemented by a strong co-curricular contribution. Many in our grade 9 class were showing up as dedicated tripartite students. The runner-up for this award is Julia Doler, and the winner is Triple Heads Awards winner, Stella Pollock. So beyond the obvious, as a Triple Heads Award winner in grade 9, Stella loves to learn and is always willing to help. Mrs. Warner said that she is a great and loyal friend, and she's able to manage very busy competitive sports seasons with all of her other commitments. Congratulations to Stella. The Brentwood Trophy is awarded to a grade 10 student who demonstrates an outstanding degree of selflessness, indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. The runners-up for this award are Phoebe Killam and Florence Darian. The winner is Simrat Srao. Simrat fits this description perfectly. Her willingness to volunteer for whatever needs to be done and the positive attitude she has in all that she does are two of the ways that she sets herself apart. I hope to see her selfishly applying to be a peer tutor next year. The Mackenzie Award honors the superior academic of the junior school. The runners-up you already applauded for April Liu, who took 3 AP courses in her grade 10 year. And Simrat was also a runner-up, who I already spoke about. The winner is Edith Wong. A rower, violinist, and speedy cross-country runner, Edith's involvement throughout the school, in addition to her volunteering initiatives, underscore her commitment and love for learning that happens both inside and beyond the classroom. She's interested always in contributing to make Brentwood a better place. The Eaton Family Award is for a grade 11 student who shows integrity, initiative, and an appreciation for the opportunities provided by the Brentwood College Tripartite Program. The runner-up for this award is Maxine Pollock, and the winner is, fittingly, a Triple Heads Award winner, Thomas McDonald. Tommy flies from one activity to another on campus. Once he's finished playing soccer, he heads to the gym to play basketball and then rushes off to prep. Oh, unless there's a musical or a senior play, which he then has to be at the rehearsal, and then he balances those with rugby. He's loyal to Privet House, and he can be very much counted on to support the boys. Congratulations. The Michael Lepadowitz Memorial Award is for a graduate who carries a courageous spirit of adventure and strong self-belief through a wide range of interests. The runner-up for this award is Vincent Yee, and the co-winners for this award are Lisa Maricusa and Nathan Onisanya. Nathan, as house captain of Privet House, you come up first, Nathan, focused on connection and being a positive role model. What stands out to me from this year was his tenacity on the basketball court as he stole the ball from opponents, highlighting his confidence. And Mr. Gage noted that he's one of the most athletic boys he has had suit up in the program. Mr. Neufeld wanted to thank Nathan for bringing his best every single day. Lisa is seen as a force in Hope House. Ms. Hedquist reports that if we were faced with a zombie apocalypse on campus, Lisa would protect her house, and she'd want to be by her side. Her no-nonsense approach was pivotal in her role as house captain. Congratulations to Lisa. For a graduate who, in response to Brentwood, ultimately demonstrates that close, meaningful relationships form the basis for personal growth and development. We have co-winners for this award, Justine Cox and Harwilmeet Nanan. But I perfectly remember a meeting in the early days of his first year at Brentwood, grade 10, with Mr. Langer in my office. And he hadn't quite figured out how to manage all that Brentwood asked of him. Well, today is evidence that hard work, focus, and asking questions do make a difference. Harv endeared himself to his teachers and his peers as he became known for his work ethic and his openness. We thank him for his service to others, officially as a Rogers House prefect and as the leader of the Brentwood Environmental Action Team, and in the many ways he served outside of these roles. Justine has the ability to draw people in. She worked tirelessly as house captain in Alexandra House to support her housemates, especially when they were having a tough time. Mrs. Warner spoke of Justine's ability to lead by example and the impact that she had on her peers. On the SEC, especially at weekly meetings, Justine was known for giving Mr. Patel a hard time when he earned it, and her sense of humor was always appreciated. Congratulations to you. The George Kelly Award is for a graduate whose aesthetic sensibility inspires others. It shall come as no surprise that our co-winners are Robin Cole and Stephen Geidishler. Following Stephen's performance in the Concert for a Summer's Eve, where he played the guitar above his head, I'm confident that enrollment spiked in rock band for next year. Mr. Snow commented that if Rogers House were a rock band, Stephen plays both lead and rhythm guitar as needed. As house captain, he led by being calm, compassionate, and caring, leaving a legacy in Rogers for future house captains. Robin has entertained us with her many musical performances over her 4 years at Brentwood. She advocated for the arts as assistant prefect arts this year and recognized talent with the Art and Soul Award. Mrs. Warner appreciated her willingness to stand up for what she believes in and the support of peers in Alexandra House. As her music hits public platforms, we look forward to continuing to enjoy her beautiful voice. Congratulations. Memorial Award is for a graduate whose athletic endeavor inspires others. We have 2 winners this year, Buchanan Fritz and Rory Peters. Buchanan is described by Mr. Snow as the bomb. It is said that character is revealed in times of struggle, and Cannon's positive attitude and never give up approach led the senior boys basketball team to the provincial final, even as he managed a significant injury. This carried through to rugby, where he fought for position on the field with the senior boys team, especially in the provincial semi-final. His loyalty, spirit, compassion, and sense of humor will sorely be missed by everyone. And always smiling, Rory has been a steady presence as co-captain of the girls' rugby team and in Mackenzie House. A wonderful strength is her ability to form strong and supportive relationships with her peers. She led by example on the pitch in both field hockey and rugby, and similar to Cannon, worked through challenges to remain positive for her team. As Mackenzie House captain, she expanded on inspiring others through athletic endeavors and sought opportunities to bring out the best in those in the house. Congratulations to you both. The Callan Family Award is awarded to a graduate who is a loyal, enthusiastic, buoyant citizen, caring of the community and keen to do well academically, athletically, and artistically. We once again have co-winners, Philip Akindipe and Amy Pavlis. As Phil worked on his delivery in assembly throughout the year, we were able to see more and more of his enthusiasm. Leading the grad council meant bringing together a lot of ideas and people so events could happen, and allowed us to see how much he cares about Brentwood. His contributions to Rogers House basketball, Brentwood broadcasts, to name a few, as well as simply how much fun he is to be around, make him a fitting recipient of this award. A lifer, Amy has shown her dedication in serving Brentwood. Her resounding laugh and positive personality have brightened the lives of all those she comes in contact with. She contributed to growing the female hockey program, was a force on the field hockey team, earned triple colors, and was a fierce supporter of all things Mackenzie House. Congratulations, Steve. I'm now going to switch duties with Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's how I made it through life. I just wait for the guy to get injured, so to speak here. Here we go. It is my honor to take Mr. Sullivan's place to describe the nature of the remaining major awards. So, the Bruce M. Hicks Public Service Award for a student who, through their action, has done the most to ameliorate the conditions of disadvantaged individuals or groups, which is taken from the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The winner, Eric Erickson. Eric has served the Brentwood community with compassion and a strong moral compass towards social justice. Funny and friendly, they are a person who can always be counted on for support and a sympathetic ear. The other day, Eric and I shared some of our darkest secrets with each other. Eric told me they were afraid of heights. I told them I was afraid of widths. I think we feel much better having shared that. The Peyton Trophy, for an outstanding citizen in recognition of a strong contribution to athletics and arts. The runner-up is Abigail Leclerc. The winner is Nicole Chan. An Allard lifer, Nicole epitomizes humility. With quiet confidence, she was captain of tennis, a triple colors winner, and received a Dogwood District Scholarship for excellence in drawing and painting. Nicole also impressed me recently by reporting that she was writing a book. She's got the page numbers down. Congratulations, Nicole. The Powell Cup, for a graduate with an outstanding degree of selflessness, indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. The runner-up is Julian Bell. The co-winners are Amber Lees and Cameron McNeil. Amber's energetic personality made her a very successful assistant captain in Mackenzie House. Her service to our community and her insightful and compassionate approach will always be appreciated. Cameron has been an excellent student committed to all aspects of this program and an outstanding role model for the boys of Whittle. As house captain, he has been a pillar of integrity. His door was always open, and he treated every student kindly, fairly, and with empathy. And apparently, above all, he showed grit and resilience for rooming with Will Peary all year. Congratulations. The Brentonian Shield, for a graduate who has encouraged a love of scholarship through either personal attitude and achievement or assistance to others. The runner-up is Sky Sung. The winner, Julian Wan. Mature and humble, Julian has a strong presence in her role as assistant captain of Mackenzie House. A talented actor and singer, her melodious, beautiful voice will be missed by all. Congratulations, Julian. Right now I'm having amnesia and deja vu all at the same time. I think I've forgotten all this before. All right, the Andrea Pennells Cup. In honor of Andrea Pennells, who was on faculty from 1982 to 2012 and head of school from 2000 to 2012. For a graduate who exemplifies empathy, compassion, and optimism as a global citizen, steward, and leader of integrity, the winner, Emily Nimmo. An Allard lifer, Emily is a true leader. Her motivation to do well not only in her Brentwood commitments, but also in providing all students as Be Well Captain with meaningful social and service opportunities was truly inspirational this year. Her steadfast devotion to her house will be particularly missed around the coral reef next year. Congratulations, Emily. Last week, Emily told me she went to a restaurant that serves breakfast at any time. She ordered French toast during the Renaissance. She was deeply disappointed. The Mary Brooks Law Award, provided by Gwen Davis to parallel the award given to her son, Wade Davis, class of 1971, when entering Harvard University, for a graduate who shows promise, strength of character, and personality. The co-winners, Gabriella Casals and Trekker James. Trekker is a young man who leads with a quiet and steady courage, consistently standing up for what he believes in and embracing the tenets of the school and Ellis House. He was a leader on the rink, on the rugby pitch, and has been a phenomenal house captain in Ellis House. As this year's Allard House captain, Gabby's calm demeanor brought strength and stability to the house during the tumultuous times brought on by the pandemic this year. Consistent and confident with both staff and students in Allard House, Gabby's stalwart leadership was truly invaluable and appreciated. Congratulations, Gabby. They must have known because I overheard Gabby ask Trekker before the ceremony, what's another word for thesaurus? The Yarrow Shield, provided by Norman Yarrow, a founding governor of Brentwood College in Brentwood Bay in 1923, for a graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and athletic excellence, stability and strength of character together with a willingness to serve. The winner, Jocelyn Lenarchich. Both Mackenzie House and the entire school were so proud of Jossie for being an amazing athletics prefect. Loyal and reliable, she plays as hard in the rest of her life as she does in her strong athletic endeavors. Congratulations, Jossie. I was discussing travel with Jossie recently, and she asked me, what's the best thing about Switzerland? I told her I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. The Teagle Bunch Cup, in memory of the The Teagle Bunch Cup. In memory of Teagle Bunch, faculty member from 1961 to 1993 and assistant headmaster from 1966 to 1991. Presented originally in memory of former governor and board chair Forrest Rogers, class of 1934. For a graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and artistic excellence, stability and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve. The winner, Anna Draper. Life work since grade 8, Anna truly personifies the cliche that if you need something done, ask a busy person. As SAC captain, Anna devoted an immeasurable amount of time planning and hosting activities for the whole school, and always with a smile and positive attitude. Volunteer, athlete, singer, performer, Anna does it all, and does it all with true class. Congratulations, Anna. Anna told me recently she was reading a book on anti-gravity. She said she couldn't put it down. The Butchart Trophy for the Ducks, the leading academic student of the senior school. The runners-up, whose academic averages were all astoundingly above 97%, are Esme Yanowitz, Will Peary, and Lucinda Gullison. The winner, with an average of 98%, Sebastian McGowan. The very definition of a scholar and a gentleman, Sebastian is the very model of what it means to put in your full effort in everything you do, whether on the field or in the classroom. And he managed to find the time to be a brilliant tactician as an interhouse captain as well. All the humans in Privet will miss him. Congratulations, Sebastian. I have to admit, however, I began to doubt Sebastian's mathematical acumen last week when he told me that 3/2 of people are bad at fractions. All right, the Holmes Cup, in honor of Major Cuthbert Holmes, co-founder of Brentwood College and governor from 1923 to 1948, and his son Pip Holmes, governor from 1971 to 2007. For a graduate whose outstanding citizenship exemplifies care for the school and the wider community. The winner, Will Peary. This year's assistant head prefect for academics, Will was an outstanding example of a student who embraces our tripartite program. As a terrific and dedicated hockey player, outstanding contributor to our photojournalism team, and the Heads Academic Award winner. Perhaps most importantly, Will quietly led by example each and every day in Whittlehouse as an outstanding role model for his peers. And apparently he showed grit and resilience for rooming with Cam McNeil all year. Congratulations, Cam. Apparently he's a captain for roommates in Whittlehouse. And our last major award, the William T. Ross Trophy. In honor of the late William T. Ross, faculty member from 1962 to 2000 and headmaster from 1976 to 2000. Presented originally by the Appleton family. For a graduate who displays outstanding leadership, stability, and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve, there can be no doubt about this winner, Jacob Hart. In addition to being an amazing head prefect, Jacob has been an outstanding member of Privet House, kind to his peers and always willing to lend himself to help others. Small children trust him, even grade 9s. According to Mr. Neufeld, he probably discovered the meaning of life years ago, but just forgot to write it down. He is the reification of Privet pride incarnate. Congratulations, Jacob. It's been said that Jacob is a peripheral visionary. He can see the future, but only way off to the side. Folks, I've had a perfectly wonderful morning, but this wasn't it. Thank you very much.
I want to know those are Mr. Sullivan's notes. Word for word, word for word. A lot of physics jokes in there, I noticed. So. We move to the Valedictorian address. The 2022 Valedictorian is selected by the graduating class through in-person speeches by nominees and then a poll. The honor this year goes to Sam Baldwin. Who has been noted earlier is the roommate of Jacob. Coincidence? I'm not sure. Mr. Neufeld, I'm sure that room is slightly more energetic than any other room in the house. Just a little, yes. Hailing from Whistler via Hong Kong and Australia, you can figure that out. Brother of an old Brentonian and a future grade 9 student as well. Please welcome to the stage, Sam Baldwin.
I'd just like to say, first of all, I'm recovering from a little sickness, so sorry for any coughing and sounding a bit under the weather. I think it's karma for all the times I've been conveniently ill on a day of a test. To Brentwood's faculty, staff, students, friends, family, and to the grad class of 2022, thank you for having me to speak in front of you today. As someone who suffers from considerable stage fright, has a severe allergy to doing work in a timely fashion, and a destructive procrastination habit, having to write a speech in 3 weeks, which very quickly turned into a few days, and speaking in front of over 1,000 people is just about as far from comfortable as I can get. Now, first off, I'd like to clear up a little misconception about why I'm here. At a lot of schools, the valedictorian is a student with the highest GPA. And, yeah, that's not me. And while I may not be the smartest kid here, yeah. I don't know if Brentwood ever did it that way, but I ended up getting too many weird speeches from boring nerds. But instead, I was voted to speak here by the members of my grad class. So you get a weird speech from a lazy idiot. And since it was my grad class that put me here, I'd like to start by speaking directly to them. We made it. And for some of you, that's surprising. 12 years of school and $37 billion in tuition fees later, we're finally done high school. I mean, even Sajid is still here somehow. I'm not proud to say that. As a grad class, we're off to study a lot of different things next year. And in not too long, we'll all be living very different lives from those we lead now. The English majors will be carrying their books around and reading all day. The philosophy majors will be thinking. The biology majors will be dissecting something. The engineering, chemistry, and physics majors will be studying for 27 hours a day, filled with self-loathing and regret. Business majors are going to be dreaming about all the money they'll be making in 10 years. The arts majors will be celebrating that they never have to take a math course again. And the maths majors will be plugging themselves in for the night. Now, some of you are pursuing music, film, or theater. Good on you. Pursuing your passions instead of money like that. And some of you are going to study accounting. Good on you, going after money and studying passions like that. Some of you are taking a gap year, and you've probably tricked yourselves into thinking you'll attend university after. It's not likely. You'll be way happy to go back to school again. But regardless of what you've chosen for yourself in your future, it's clear that some of you need to learn how to study harder, and others need to learn how to party harder. Whatever it is you've decided to pursue, I wish you the best of luck. But that's enough about thinking what we'll be doing in the future for now. Instead, I'd like to briefly revisit our past as a grad class. There's a few of you that were new to Brentwood this year, and despite only joining for the last leg of the race, I'm sure you were all swept up in the craziness of it all and very quickly found somewhere you belonged. Even though there are so few of you, you've all had an impact on those you've met here. I can firmly say I wouldn't have enjoyed this year nearly as much if I hadn't seen Miles strolling across the field in a kilt. You've all solidified yourselves as members of the Brentwood community, and I'm glad you all came, even if it was just for a short while. And that last part did sound a little bit cult-like, but I couldn't think of anything better, so let's just gloss over it. Some of you joined us in grade 11, and had already found your place at Brentwood for our final year. While you've only been here for half of the time those of us who joined in grade 9 have, it feels like forever that I've known all of you. I'm sure none of us can picture a Brentwood without Jacob Hart and Hannah Waring strolling around campus together, yet somehow those of you who joined in grade 11, Hannah included, have only been here for 2 of the shortest years of our lives. The largest number of students joined in grade 10. And while you didn't get the full 4-year ride, or even a full first year without a slight virus interruption, I couldn't imagine my time here without all of you. My experience in Privet House would have been so different without Mark Lafreniere and Dexter Oldland living in the room next to me, or the shenanigans Liam and Perry Fortier, Paul Hassoun, and Nathan Onasanya would get up to in the halls of blue. You've all been such a big part of my life over the last 3 years, and I would like to thank you for all the time we spent together. To those of us that have been at Brentwood since grade 9, the so-called lifers, Brentwood's experienced veterans, we've gone through a little Brentwood sandwich, a completely normal first year, followed by a second with online school, a third with Camp Brentwood and COVID restrictions, and now a final year that's almost been completely back to normal. We've experienced Brentwood at its best and at its worst, and have seen how much it's changed over the last 4 years. It feels like yesterday we were at Strathcona, cold, wet, and very sad, yet excited to meet the people we'd be sharing our high school years with. To everyone that came here in grade 8, your time at Brentwood trumps everyone else's. How you've done 5 years here baffles me. I mean, I'm desperately clinging to the last strands of sanity I've left after 4. So good work in making it all the way through. And even though you're only on campus about 4 times this year, that includes you, Rylan Ross. Now quickly, I want to leave some advice for all the students coming back or joining us next year. And while I may not have the spiritual guru level of wisdom that Jacob does, it helped me enjoy my time here. Brentwood has a lot of programs, clubs, sports, and events available to students. Dive in. For a lot of you, this might be the first and only time in your life that you'll be able to take part in a musical, a play, perform in a band, play a sport at a competitive level. If you see something on offer that interests you, go for it. You won't regret it. Jacob spoke about being true to yourself, no matter what. But sometimes you may not know who you are yet. As an Australian who was born in London, lived in Hong Kong for 14 years, and moved to Canada for high school, it's safe to say that I'm confused. Always very confused. I never really felt like I was from any of the places I'd lived, and even though all my family is Australian, I'd never lived there. So again, I felt like a bit of a fake. What I realized though, is that it's okay if you don't know who you are yet, so take your time finding out. It'll come eventually. And while we're on the topic of advice, we'll get a lot of it. Some of it will be good. For example, when I was writing the speech, Ms. Walensky gave me advice that it should be 1 part emotional, 1 part hilarious, and 0 parts incriminating. Which meant it was back to the drawing board, because at that time my speech was 3 parts incriminating and 1 part nudity. Probably wouldn't have gone down too well. Some of the advice we'll get, well, some of it will be less good, and some of it will be outright garbage. Listen to all of it, and above all, listen to yourself. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, some thanks are in order, and some apologies as well. RJ, you are the sole reason I got into university. I know it probably wasn't easy, and I'm sorry for being the last grad to present my capstone over a month and a half late. Thank you for putting up with my laziness and utter disregard for my future throughout the process of uni applications. And on top of all that, thank you for always keeping a smile on your face through it all and being able to make me laugh even while reprimanding me. New from Miss Walensky, you've helped shape me into the person I am today. These 4 years I've spent in Privet House have been the best 4 years of my life. The environment and culture you've created in the house is supportive, loving, and most importantly, very, very fun. I can't believe that I've already experienced my last house meeting, and that today is officially the final day I get to walk the halls of Privet House as a student. I can't wait to come back and visit, and for a guest inspection one of these days. I'm proud to have called Privet my home, and I couldn't have asked for better people to be in charge. Mum and Dad, the parentals. Thank you for the unending support and motivation you've given me, not only over my Brentwood career, but throughout my whole life. You've always been there to push me forwards, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Also, you paid for 4 years of tuition here, which is Luke, thank you for giving me the confidence to come to Brentwood without any reservations about whether I'd enjoy it here, and more importantly, for letting me learn from the mistakes you inevitably end up making before me. Thank you for making the time I spent at Brentwood with you so memorable, even if a lot of that memory was of a fist planting firmly into my shoulder, followed by considerable pain. Archie, thank you for giving me a reason to look forward to coming home. I'm always excited to let you know about the things I've been getting up to here. While I wish I could have spent a little bit of time at Brentwood with you, I'm excited to see the person you'll become and all the things you'll achieve here. Happy birthday, by the way. I was going to get everyone to sing happy birthday for you, but I think that might count as psychological torture. So. Mr. Interlandi, thank you for giving me a chance to perform in the senior play. It's probably the only time I'll ever end up on a stage performing a production. It's an experience I'll never forget, and it's something I'm extremely proud of. And sorry for loosening my filter on that first performance, and all subsequent performances. I really never intended to be a separate teacher, but yeah. Miss Plow, thank you for showing me the magic of theater production. While you may not get that much credit for the things you do backstage, the gratification and joy felt when a show goes smoothly is something I'll value forever. Thank you for all the laughs and for putting up with all the theater production students' shenanigans, mine included. Miss O, I'm pretty sure Mark 7 and I are the only grade 12s that have ever been needed to be split up being too disruptive in an AP Physics 12 class. Sorry you had to put up with us for the last 3 years, and thank you for teaching us so passionately. Good luck at PIU next year. Mr. Bryant, sorry that I showed up to about 1 of every 3 of your chem classes. Your sometimes questionable jokes make chemistry a little bit more bearable, so thank you. All of my Privet boys, thank you for being my second family. I'll miss you all like crazy, and I'll make sure to come visit. Jacob, I don't even remember meeting you in grade 9. All I know is that you've been my best mate from the day we first spoke. You're a huge inspiration to me, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things you're bound to accomplish. To everyone who's taught me while I've been here, thank you for helping me discover what it is I'm interested in, and for giving me the knowledge and ability needed to pursue it. Sorry about all the missed classes, forgotten assignments, and that I never really did figure out what a deadline was. And to duty staff, advisors, leadership, and everyone else who's been instrumental in making my time at Brentwood great, thank you for inspiring me, guiding me, and showing me what it means to be a part of the Brentwood community. And again, it ended up sounding a little bit cult-like there, becoming a part of the Brentwood family. See, what I realized Brentwood does is that when you first arrive here, they try and give you Stockholm Syndrome. They take you away from your families, take your phones at night so you can't contact them, and eventually you end up falling in love with the place. All that just to get me to donate one day. You're doing too much. My 4 years here have been hectic, stressful, challenging, fulfilling, and incredibly fun. Thank you for everyone who made my time here great, and good luck next year. To all the leaders next year, to Manu and Manum and all that, I'm sure you'll all be fine. Jacob Hart, the most disorganized man I know, can do it. You all can. As Dexter Oldland so eloquently put it last night, yeah man, it's been I. Thank you.
done, Sam. And now, yes, you can graduate after you've done that. Get worried about draft 1. Mr. Sullivan, again, has abandoned us today. And normally, he would be announcing the inter-house results. Now, I've noticed that Mackenzie Ellis haven't returned the trophy. Oh, it's right. Oh, it is right. It is returned. Okay, good. Round of applause for Mr. McPherson. Yes. But he did run a runner down, or a pigeon, and I do have the official results here on this piece of paper, handwritten, because we don't want thieves to find it, those coding thieves. Oh, interesting. Inter-house standings, 2021-22 school year. So I'm going to read the points first. No, I'm not going to read the points. In 4th place. Oh. Roger Zeller. In 3rd place, or 2nd last place, whichever one you want to frame it. The bronze medalists are Alex Whittle. Now I'm just going to probably just read the winners out, because if I do the 2nd place, then you'll already know who the winners are, etc. The process is the inter-house captains of the brother-sister houses are to come up and receive the trophy and take a picture, etc. So that's the process, and then return without gloating, with a bit of humility. Probably that. For 5 years in a row, Mackenzie Ellis, I think it's 5 years, has won. 5? Is it 5? 5 years. 5 years. There's 1 year in 2020 that some argue we shouldn't have awarded it, but we did. We did. 5 years in a row. And I will say that the rest of the school has been jealous. And I don't think they actually like Mackenzie Ellis, actually. Is that fair to say? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. They're nice people. I'm sure they're, yeah. So in 1st place is Hope Privet. At the beginning of the year, Alex bet me that I had to do 5 push-ups here, so I've been working out all year for that. 5 push-ups. Pretty good. And down to the final part of our closing ceremonies. Passing the torch, the mano in mano. We're now at that time of the ceremony where the final torch is passed from this year's Student Executive Committee to next year's Student Executive Committee. Yet another transition. So I invite this year's SEC to the stage, please. And as they make their way to the stage, on behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank these 17 appointed leaders for their advice, guidance, and kindness through this pandemic transition. That for the most part was a normal final term, as Sam said. Ms. Mertland, Mr. Sullivan, and myself are so grateful to work alongside such inspirational young people, and I'm happy to report that the world is in good hands with these fine leaders. So we expect Brentwood leaders to be a few things: humble, authentic, balanced, optimistic, a team player, a servant leader, resilient, and engaged. This year's SEC fully embraced these attributes, and I'm confident that next year's will as well. So as tradition dictates, the final act of the closing ceremonies is the announcement of next year's Student Executive Committee, which is made up of the head prefects, assistant head prefects for arts, academics, and athletics, the 8 house captains, and 5 ex officio members from the Brentwood Environmental Action Team, the BEAT, SAC, Student Activities Committee, Be Well, the Graduation Committee, and open-minded, non-discriminatory individuals, or Omni. So beginning in April, we invited grade 11s to apply for these leadership roles, and once endorsed by their house parents, students and faculty were polled. Senior leaders, including house parents, reviewed the data, and recommendations were made to my office. I applaud all of those students that took the courageous step to put up their hands in a very public way to serve their school. In a few moments, the graduating class of 2023 will accept the torch that is passed by this year's grads. And in advance, I want to thank all of those candidates for their leadership, Imanu and Mano. So before I invite next year's SEC to come up on stage, this is what the process looks like. Okay, I will announce your name. I will announce, obviously, the opposite number that you have on stage. You embrace, hopefully there's some applause, and then I ask you just to exit that way off the stage, and we'll go through all 17 that way. Okay? After the closing ceremony is over, I'm going to repeat these instructions, but everyone is slightly emotional at that point. All major award winners, so not the book prizes, etc., that you had before, the major award winners, we would like you to again go to just outside the arts building there for pictures afterwards. That includes this year's SEC and next year's SEC as well. So before you embrace your parents or see your friends, etc., we ask you to go there so we can take some pictures too. Lunch for graduates and their families will be served in Crooks Hall. For the rest of the school, lunch will be available near the foot center in grab-and-go bags, and again, the grade 8 to 11 students, and if you don't have siblings that are graduating today, we ask you to depart the school that way. And after this graduation ceremony and then the luncheon, the graduation ceremony begins promptly at 1:15. So parents and guests, please be seated by 1:10. And graduates, you know what you need to do in terms of getting your caps and gowns on. I think it's 12:45. So at this time, I'm honored to announce next year's SEC. We'll start with Omni. So if Eric could step forward, please. Next year's Omni captain is Finley Takahashi. The beat captain for next year, so Harberly, if you could step forward. No, just, you could just, I'll just keep doing it, so go ahead. Hug, you hug. Okay. There we go, and then exit that way, exit that way. There you go. Good, you got the first one. The beat captain for next year is Sophie Horn. The grad president, as voted on by the grad class, or the grade 11 class this year, is Hazel Link. The Be Well captain for next year is Jenny Lee. The SAC captain for next year is Samantha Davis. Now we're going to do the house captains alphabetically, so Alex House first, please. The Alexander House captain for next year is Sylvia. Allard House captain for next year is Chiwoki Inyama. Ellis House captain for next year is Oscar Long. Hope House captain for next year is Alana Harrison. Mackenzie House. The Mackenzie House captain for next year is Belucci Okiko. Privet House. The Privet House captain for next year is Ariel Xiao. Rogers House. The Rogers House captain that received this amazingly beautiful razor is Jackson McDougall. Finally, Whittle House. The Whittle House captain for next year is Yuki Imai. Now the 4 FCC executive positions. And before our assistant head prefect for athletics, arts, academics, and then the head prefect. The assistant head prefect for athletics for next year is Dylan Gage. Assistant head prefect for arts for next year is Heather Lamb. The assistant head prefect for academics for next year is Avik Baxter. finally, the head prefect for 2022-23 is Thomas McDonald. As a reminder, all major award winners, please go for the photo, please, before anything else. Lunch for graduates and families is in Crooks Hall. This afternoon's graduation ceremony. Hang on. Starts at 1:15. As head of school, I officially close the 2021-22 school year. We'll see you in September.